Look around you. Over 60% of the calories consumed in Western diets come from what science calls ultra-processed foods, UPFs. These aren't just snacks. They are food-like products engineered for maximum profit and minimum nutrition. The evidence is now undeniable. Studies link high UPF consumption to increased risk of obesity, cardiovascular disease, type 2 diabetes, and cancer. We've been told the danger is simply sugar, salt, and fat. But today, THE Evidence Edge reveals the deeper, more sinister truth. We're going to break down the 3 hidden mechanisms, the real dangers, that cause UPFs to accelerate cellular aging and chronic disease. It's not just what they contain. It's how they are chemically engineered to bypass your body's survival mechanisms. First, let's define our enemy. What exactly makes a food ultra-processed? It's not just cooking or adding salt. The scientific classification, known as NOVA, defines UPFs as formulations of ingredients, mostly of industrial origin, that often contain substances not used in home cooking, like high fructose corn syrup, hydrogenated oils, protein isolates, and artificial flavors, colors, and emulsifiers. Think of it. A homemade loaf of bread is processed. A loaf of commercial white bread with 15 unrecognizable ingredients is ultra-processed. Yogurt is processed. Fruit-flavored, low-fat yogurt with added sugars and thickeners is ultra-processed. The key is the industrial alteration and the inclusion of cosmetic additives designed to enhance taste, texture, and shelf life, not nutrition. The first hidden danger lies in your brain. UPFs were meticulously engineered for hyperpalatability, the perfect ratio of sugar, salt, and fat that maximizes your dopamine response. Scientists call this the bliss point. This design hijacks the brain's reward centers, similar to addictive substances. A clinical study revealed that UPFs cause rapid consumption, not primarily because of true hunger, but because their perfect sensory profile overrides satiety signals. You are chemically driven to overeat. We are not dealing with core willpower. We are dealing with deliberate, neurochemically addictive food architecture that forces overconsumption and, inevitably, weight gain. The second, and perhaps most insidious, mechanism targets your gut. UPFs are loaded with emulsifiers, additives like polysorbate 80 and carboxymethylcellulose, used to prevent foods from separating and to create appealing textures. The evidence shows that these emulsifiers don't just affect the food, they actively attack the protective mucus layer in your gut. This mucus is your first line defense against pathogens and toxins. When that crucial layer is eroded, the tight junctions between your intestinal cells, your gut barrier, become permeable. This allows undigested food particles, bacteria, their toxins to leak into your bloodstream, triggering chronic systemic inflammation across your entire body. This chronic inflammation, directly caused by the leaky gut and UPF consumption, is the hidden ingredient accelerating disease. When your immune system is constantly exposed to these invaders from the gut, it enters a state of persistent low-grade alert. This is precisely what scientists define as inflammation-driven aging. The evidence links this UPF-driven inflammation directly to the rise of autoimmune disorders, chronic joint pain, and critically, metabolic dysfunction, where cells become resistant to insulin. Therefore, UPFs don't just cause weight gain, they systematically plant the seeds of almost every major chronic disease by destroying the gut's integrity and perpetuating systemic inflammation. The third critical mechanism is physical. The soft meets are synthetic. UPFs are processed so aggressively that they are virtually devoid of natural texture and fiber. They require almost no effort to chew. Scientific studies have demonstrated that the effort required to chew, the time spent eating, and the physical resistance in the food matrix are crucial triggers for satiety hormones. Because UPFs are often pre-digested in the factory, they can be consumed at an extremely high caloric rate, up to 50% faster than whole foods. This rapid consumption completely bypasses the signals that tell your brain you are full, forcing overconsumption of excess calories and leading directly to metabolic syndrome and obesity. So what are the worst offenders you must examine in your own The list extends far beyond obvious candy bars. We're talking about commercial breads often loaded with emulsifiers and softeners, packaged breakfast cereals designed entirely for the bliss point and often fortified with synthetic vitamins, mass-produced frozen meals the main source of stabilizers and artificial flavors, and of course, soda and sweetened beverages. Leading experts, like Dr. Kevin Hall's research at NIH, confirm that UPFs drive overeating and metabolic harm independent of their nutritional content. Even healthy-sounding options, like flavored yogurts or protein bars, frequently contain the very emulsifiers and stabilizers that damage your gut lining. You must scrutinize the ingredient list, not the marketing claims or front-of-pack labels. The evidence is overwhelming. The UPF elimination protocol is a simple, three-step action plan to reclaim your health. 1. Eliminate. Start by removing the top offenders from your own soda, packaged pastries, frozen meals. 2. Substitute. For every UPF you eliminate, commit to substituting it with a single, whole food ingredient, for example, nuts instead of snack bars, plain Greek yogurt instead of flavored. 3. Prioritize whole foods and cook. The evidence confirms that cooking from scratch minimizes emulsifiers and restores the natural fiber matrix your body needs to trigger satiety. Learn to read the label. If the ingredient list contains 5 or more items you can't pronounce, your body can't process it efficiently, and it belongs back on the shelf. Take control of your cellular health today. For more evidence-based protocols on longevity, metabolic health, and critical warnings, subscribe to TG Evidence Edge now. Next week, we are diving deep into cellular renewal, revealing the scientific time window needed to activate autophagy, your body's internal self-repair mechanism. Click the link in the description for a full, cited transcript of this investigation.